Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle cards, The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I want these. Alright, what do we have here? Sometimes, for some reason, these cards stick together a little bit. This is Virgo. I like that card. Upside. You have one Oracle card upside down. I think I like it. We'll find out when we actually read. Not to be, whatever that would be. Since I'm telling you it's there without getting into the rest of this. Are we good? Okay. Oh, I like the ending. Do you really have anything rough? I don't really know if I see anything really rough here. Let's see where this is going. Not that you want anything rough, like you're, oh no, is it smooth sailing? Oh, jeez. Oh no, is it smooth sailing? How could I live through that? Chameleon reversed. I like this because I feel like you're putting it right out there where you stand. There's a moment here where, and it's not coming across harshly. It doesn't have like teeth to it. It's just kind of like, I feel like there's a moment here where, an opinion is needed. You don't kind of feel your opinion is popular, but you're kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to say where I really stand. It's like, I feel like this is a situation you might kind of shy around it a little, or just kind of like avoid giving your 2 cents on it because you're like, what good does that do? But for whatever reason, this moment comes forward, and you just show your colors. You're like, this is where I am, this is what I think. It's not bad. It's just you're like, I don't think my opinion is going to be very popular with people, but this is what I really think. Okay. I get the three of Swords. Nope. 3 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, and the Princess of Water. Or is it Cups? Princess of Cups. Cups, water, same boat. This is like what you're putting out there where your heart really stands. For some of you, this might be a romantic thing. What's that about? You might be telling somebody that you care about that, I really like you a little bit more than you realize. Some of you. But if that's the case, you're thinking, it's not really going to go anywhere, but I just feel like I need to get it off my chest. One of those things. It's a little bit kind of like you're doing it for you just to kind of like release it, if that's what you're doing, if it's that. Others of you, it's business related. I feel like you're kind of like, I don't like how things are getting run, and I don't believe in a couple choices being done, and this is why. You're not making a big hubbub about it. You're like, hey, I have to work here like everybody else, but if you want my honest opinion, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna follow the rules. I'm just saying some of these rules I don't think are right. So it's something along those lines. It's either you're giving your opinion, and you're like, I don't think people are gonna like it, or you're telling somebody how you feel about them, and you're thinking that's not gonna go anywhere. So I'm just getting it off my chest. Ugh. My whiskers poke me in the side of the mouth. I hate that. I gotta fix that at some point. Anything else? What's this? The 3 of Wands, and I feel like literally when you're good at giving this information, you're literally thinking you're gonna just let it go. It's really how you feel. You've been sitting on it for a while. You're just kind of like, I'm just putting it out there so I can let it go. So I can be like, I said my 2 cents. I gave it a shot just in case it matters. I just want to let it go. That's all. I just want to put it out there so I can let it go. This, whatever information, if it's about a person, if it's about a situation, whatever it is, you're getting somebody thinking. So if a job thing and it's about the rules and you're like, I just don't feel like these rules are right. I'm going to follow them because I need to. I just don't think they're right. Somebody's like, people are soaking that in like, That Virgo has a point. They kind of make sense. They're very stable. They make sense on what they're thinking. They're very just, letting us know what they're thinking, why they're thinking it, where they stand. That they're not going to get in the way, but they're saying, this is just why I think this is going to be a problem. So you get people thinking. If this is to a person that you're confessing your feelings to, I just feel like they're kind of like, really? I feel like they like that. And they're wondering what they need to do with that, or if they need to. They're thinking it over. Like, so whatever you're saying to whatever you're saying it to, it's being honored. Like, you're saying it for a reason, and it's being absorbed, and it's being like kind of like churned. It's getting churned over. Because they're getting the Two of Pentacles plus the Princess of Pentacles in the environment. You put it out very gently, is what I'm putting. You put it out very gently. It's being received, being thought through. I don't see anything happening at this point. What's this card? Face down, King of Swords. I feel like the reason I kind of have this face down on the table, and it's the only card like that, I think that it's because this person is thinking something over and maybe considering it or talking about it with other people. So no matter what way this goes, whoever you're affecting takes it seriously, thinking it over, talking it out with other people. For whatever reason that's necessary, that's what I feel like is going on. I don't feel like I need to beat that to death. I feel like if this reading is hitting with you, I feel like that would make sense why. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually quite positive. I think it's a positive thing. It's not gossipy. It's kind of like, this is what the Virgo said. What do you think? They seem to have a point. I seem to think they have a point. What do you think? They're taking it somewhere else to see what other people feel about what you have said. Even if it's kind of like you've confessed your feelings to them, they're kind of talking to other people like, that Virgo, I mean, I know they're attractive. I just never really thought of them in that light. But now that I'm realizing they are interested, I'm like, I'm thinking, why aren't I? Why don't I give that a shot? What do you think? I feel like they're definitely talking to somebody else, like almost like an advisor, confidant, something like that. Now, this is a slow process, whatever it is. Ironically, I do think for Virgo, that's not a bad thing. All right, so what is this? Let's just pick this up and see what this is. Because the Seven of Swords with the frog spirit, I'm really not sure at this point what way this is going to go. I gotta be honest. The cards are fairly good, but they're not really, I'm not 100% sure what way, because you seem to be doing pretty well with this situation, but I'm not sure where it's landing just yet. So I gotta pick up the cards and just kind of uncover as we go. The frog spirit with the Seven of Swords. I feel like this is somebody entertaining the thought you've given them, but it seems like it's almost like taste testing something and just giving it a try. It's almost like testing jellies, like jalapeno jelly or something, and just kind of getting a little bit of it on a cracker and going, okay, something like that, but not really making like a sandwich or anything, or like a dessert or anything out of it. I don't know what you make with jalapeno jelly. I know I've seen it before, but because I'm getting the Seven of Swords with this frog spirit, like things like the frog. When I think of frog, what does it say on here? Clear out the clutter. I guess I'm more of an intuitive reader. That's not what I'm feeling. When I feel frog, I feel like this is something that goes into the water, but then comes out of the water and lives on land and in water. It does both. You know what I mean? Goes in and out. So I feel like this person is kind of like exploring what you've said, but then staying secure where they already were. It's almost like you said these rules aren't right? If that's one of the versions we're dealing with here. And they're kind of like entertaining, like, well, if we change the rules to what the Virgo thinks they should be and why, where does that get us? But let's not move forward with that just yet. Let's just keep these over here. Let's not tell people we're considering it, but let's just kind of really like can we entertain this? How far can we go with that? What would that really, do? Blah, blah, blah. The romantic thing, the romantic side is like they don't want you to move on from them just yet. They're not sure what to do with it, though. They're kind of like sure. They're like, I like the Virgo. The Virgo's a good person. I don't know really how far that would go or if that would work, but I like them. And they don't want you to move on just yet. So they're showing, I feel like they're like giving you, like they might be flirting a little bit with you, but they might be also pulling back a little bit at the same time. Like they don't want to give you the wrong idea, but they don't want you to walk away at the same time because they don't know what to do with it. They're not really sure. They're still kind of like thinking it over. Like, I don't know what I want. Would that be a thing or not? So it's kind of like living in two worlds at once is what I'm getting with the Frog. And the Seven of Swords is like committing to neither. You're wondering, like, because I feel like you're kind of like, you're noticing this. For some reason, the flirting thing, that would be obvious why you're kind of like, But even with the rules, you're picking up on something and you realize your words have had an impact. And you're kind of like, oh, okay. My words did have an impact. I was heard. And you're seeing the situation, like you're wondering where it's going to go. You're seeing possibilities here. But then you got the Two of Cups with, is that the Two of Cups? Yep. And the Hawk spirit. It says, let spirit be your guide. But I feel like when I feel hawk, I feel like I usually feel the bird hovering, looking down. And I've seen a documentary a long time ago about it, where they can see like some part of the light spectrum that we can't. So they can possibly see like trails or like where animals have been going. In other words, you're seeing like what's going on around you. It doesn't mean anything is changing, but you're seeing like you're understanding that people have heard you and are looking at what you said, and you're seeing the bigger picture, kind of like, what I said was worth it because it seems to have had an effect. I don't know where it's going right now, but I do see that I did have an effect. And you're kind of excited about this. This makes you feel good, kind of like I was taken seriously, but you're also realizing that you should be taken seriously. So it's kind of like, all right, maybe at the very least, maybe they'll explain to me why we're not changing or why we're going to keep the rules we have. Maybe they'll explain that more to me, or maybe there will be change here that works out better to my liking. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of rules in this situation. No matter what way you're going, there's a lot of rules is what I'm getting. Like, if it's business, can't just change these, whatever the situation, you can't just change it on a button, on a dime, whatever. You know that. It's not a big deal. If it's the romance thing where you confessed your feelings, there's a lot of rules to that still. I don't know if it's etiquette or something else, but there seems to be a lot of rules about, well, if that's going to be considered, what does that change? Who does that affect? Is that, is just trying it a little bit and deciding that's not going to work, is that really more harm than good? Somebody's taking this seriously, whatever way it is. There's a lot of thought and introspection. Introspection is really, that word introspection, I'm getting that very strong, introspection. You're being taken very seriously, and the owl is making me feel like it's being thought about. Like, these two are just kind of reinforcing each other. A lot of introspection, wondering, thinking, really considering the point, okay? Things don't change too quickly, but you're seeing sign. You know that this is being thought out. I feel like there might be small conversations about this. Almost like, this person or people, if it's about rules, might have little questions for you, like how long you've been thinking about this. They might be like, oh, you told us this is why you believe that. Have you encountered this situation, and how has that played out with the way you're thinking it should go? There's things like that coming forward, but they're very short conversations, like 5-10 minutes tops, and it doesn't seem like it's scheduled. It's just kind of like pop up, just like you're there, they're there, and they're like, hey, while you're here, I thought I'd just ask you a quick question. And then they just kind of roll it out to you, and you're like, well, this is what I think, or this, you're just giving where you stand. It's not anything you have to prepare for. It's just like, oh yeah, well, this is information you already have. You just need to explain it. It's not a problem. The Four of Pentacles is kind of like nothing seems to be changing, but I still feel like because that pentacle above the head, it's kind of like they want more information. before they change anything, they want more information. I think that's why we're seeing, okay, this is why we're seeing this card on your side, the Four of Wands. The questions and the way they're coming towards you, even though nothing is changing, the questions are really making you think, like, why would anybody, why ask these questions if we're not going to do something here? So you're kind of seeing the writing on the wall. Like, this person is, they're still thinking about it. They're still mulling it over. Like, it's affecting them. It's more than likely, you're seeing the writing on the wall. Like, why are they still thinking about it at this far down the juncture? I said it that long ago. Why would they still be considering it if they weren't going to possibly, like, there's a good possibility they're going to do something with it. That's what we're saying. And then that is what happens. Whatever it is you put forward, changing rules, or if you told somebody how you feel about them, things start moving forward. But it's the Princess of Wands. There's a lot of princess energy. Princess of Cups, Princess of Earth, which is Pentacles, Princess of Wands, which is fire, movement forward. A change is made, but it's very slow. So if it's changing rules, they're trying just a little bit, and they just want to see how it works. They're just like, well, let's just move it just a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. If it seems like the Virgo's right in application, what they said, if it's right in application as we apply some of it, if that seems right, well, then we'll do a little more, and we'll just keep seeing how that goes. They're very, or if it's the dating thing, like maybe because they might ask you out on a date, but it might be like a lunch date. You know what I mean? Kind of like, oh, on Sunday, you know, I go to this place. I was wondering if you wanted to go with me and just hang out. It's only a couple hours, and then I have to do some things, but I'd really like to just spend some time with you and just talk with you, just see how you're feeling, what you're thinking, how life is. It's kind of like they're just slowly getting into this, and they just want to get to know you a little more, but they don't want to, like, they're not putting the pressure of like a Saturday night date, like a Sunday brunch and the Saturday night date, like if you know what I mean, the difference, like the intensity, what's expected, like they're trying to make it. They just want to know about you. They just want to hear what you think about life. They just want to kind of soak up your energy a little bit more because they take you seriously, and they're like, you know what, there may be more here than I think. I don't know. I didn't think of the Virgo that way before, but they had the guts to say that. I kind of want to explore that, see what's there. So I feel like it's a slow step forward, but I don't think that's a problem. They're hopeful. They want to see more. This makes you happy. This makes you happy. I like how this is going. I wasn't sure how this was going to go end because there's good cards here, but the last couple cards you can take left or right. Depends on what's building behind it. The Fool card here is telling me you're really liking this. Whichever type of situation this is, it feels really good, and you're really hopeful because you're like, I think what I said makes sense. I think what I said was the right way to do it. Whether it's rules, whether it's you're into somebody and you want to be with them, you're kind of like, yeah, I just need a chance, and I think you're going to see what I'm telling you makes sense. So you got the Fool card here, very optimistic, no problem there. I do get also with the Bobcat and the Queen of Cups. The Bobcat is a smaller cat. It seems to me like they stay out of sight, but they're very effective when necessary. It's not like if you put up a lion against the Bobcat really doesn't have a chance. But if you have the Bobcat in its natural environment, it seems to be more of an apex predator, I think. Don't quote me on that. But like, because I think we have Bobcats around where I live. You just don't hardly ever see them. They're very careful. They're very effective. They survive through things. They make things work out, but they usually stay out of people's way. They don't like to be seen. I don't remember. I've never seen one, but I've heard of other people seeing them around here, if that makes any sense. The Queen of Cups is telling me there's a lot of heart in this for you. Whatever it is, the situation, you're feeling it, and you're very careful with it. You're very protective with it. I get that this is going to be a slow and steady situation. I feel like you're going to be very cautious with it. But they're telling me success is here. Six of Wands is your outcome. It's success. You're going to have to kind of roll with it. You're going to know what's right and what's not right, but I feel like whatever the situation is, I feel like you're going to need to talk to it, and I feel like it's you. You're the value. Whatever, no matter if it's rules or it's romance, whatever it is, you're the thing. You're what makes a difference here. Even especially if it's the rules, because you have to keep working with the situation and explain things and go through things. You seem to get more involved. You seem to get deeper involved with that. Your role seems to get more important. You get kind of elevated. It's slow over time, but it gets stronger and stronger. If this is romance, I feel like this might be one of those things where you date for like a year, maybe a year and a half, to the point where this person really just kind of, they slowly fall in love with you. I don't know how you feel about that. I think that's good. I feel like they're slowly falling in love with you, and just after like a year and a half, just like they feel so confident and so comfortable with you, and that they just want to be with you. They just fall in love with you slowly over time. I think that's good. I think that's really good. I've talked with people about how people fall in love, and I think it's funny because some people feel like they have their way of falling in love. They fall in love this way, and that's how it is. This is just how it happens. And other people have this more rigid view, like it's either there or it's not. If you don't know right off the bat, then it's not there, and I don't believe that. Love comes forward in its own way. I've had situations where it's shown up. I've known people for years, a person for years, let's put it that way, and then all of a sudden it's just kind of like, oh, like how did I not know that they were freaking rock on awesome? How did I not know till just now? I've had that happen to me. I've had people, and I've had it like right off the bat. That's how it usually happens for me. But I know other people who've had it, like they fall in love at first sight. And that's how they believe love goes. And then they've had situations later on in their later years where it just kind of develops, and they realize like it's a different type of love, but it's I think it was pretty good. Like it was the same level at the end, but they just never thought that they'd fall in love that way. They thought it was either there or it wasn't. And when they grew to love somebody, and then it was just the same intensity was there, it just took time before it got there. It was just interesting. Like I feel like it's just one of those things where people need to be open that love comes forward in its own way. There's no like this is how it happens and that's how it doesn't happen. It happens in different ways. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know why we're saying that, but maybe if that makes sense for somebody. Because it happens different for different people, and sometimes it happens different for us. Like you could go your whole life, I fall in love at first sight, and that's how it is, and then all of a sudden you experience a different way of falling in love, and you're just like, I never thought that would happen that way for me. So, for whatever that means, I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.